I've got this feeling, I'm feeling you could be the one. I see no reason why I should ever let you go.
Alright, so I know that it's that time of the year that a ton of you guys are planning to start your study abroad journey and come to the US or Canada to begin. And I want to talk about 10 student-friendly tech gadgets that you guys should probably buy here in the US because it makes more sense financially. They're cheaper, you're going to get a variety of options to choose from, and you absolutely, in my opinion, need these tech gadgets as a student to begin your education journey. So let's get into it. So to make things a little interesting, I'm going to give away some of the things that you see in this video. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, and drop a comment on what your favorite accessory or tech gadget is that you see in the video. And everything that I talk about is going to be linked in the description below if you guys want to check those things out. So as a student, you'll find yourself doing assignments, studying, or even taking virtual classes at home. This brings me to the point that you need a good and sturdy desk setup to be used at home. Now, the point of this is to be as productive as you can, because let's face it, like sitting on your bed and just moving around trying to do your work in like various places just doesn't get you that motivation that you need. Now, the desk that I've been using for over 1 year now is the Autonomous Smart Desk Core. And the best part about this desk is that it's a sit-stand desk, which means that it keeps you a little proactive so that you're not spending hours endless just sitting at the desk. You can change the settings to make sure that you're standing for some time. It has memory functions, so you can customize it to your specific needs. And while you're being productive and getting your work done, this desk is as sturdy as it comes. Now, the one that I got was the walnut finish tabletop with the black frame legs, but there are so many options to choose from. And honestly, you don't really have to go with the extra large option that I did. It's just that I had enough space in my room. But as a student, if you're looking for a smaller size, they do come in a regular size option as well. And there are a variety of colors to choose from, like white, walnut, dark brown, black. So whatever your preference is, you can mix and match and customize this desk to your need. Now, standing is great, but while you're sitting at your desk, you need a good chair to maintain that ergonomic posture so that you're not hurting yourself spending long hours doing your work. This is why I've been using the Autonomous Ergo Chair Pro, which is the one that you see right over here. I've literally been sitting on it in all of my videos. It's the chair that you guys see, and I got mine in the dark gray. But the best part that I like about this chair is that you have a ton of functions to like move it up and down, adjust the lumbar support, and it also provides like a nice cushion towards my lower back. So while I'm sitting for hours, I'm not hurting my lower back. Now, the whole mesh structure on the back of the chair provides a very comfy feeling, and it's also very aesthetic to look at. Now, using my code 21crazymedusa, you guys can get 4% off, and there are some pretty unique student sales going on Autonomous right now, so definitely check those out. So now, coming to laptops and iPads, this is probably going to be one of the more expensive things that you buy as a student, but these are essential things. Now, as an international student coming from another country, you might just think that you can get these things in your own home country, but buying them in the US is actually a cheaper option for a couple of reasons. The price overall is cheaper in the US compared to India or any other country. And if you're coming as an international student, August and September are usually the time frames when education discounts are in full swing. So you guys can get a couple $100s off on top of the already lowered prices, and you can save a ton of money. Alright, so coming to laptops, now I'm going to give you guys 5 different options that you see on the screen right now, depending on a budget-friendly option to a Windows option and then the Apple option. Now, in my opinion, I personally feel that Apple laptops in general are super durable and they have a good quality. So as a student, if you're planning to buy this in your first year, it's very much possible to use it throughout your undergrad or your master's degree without the laptop like failing you. The most thing you might run into is maybe the battery life degrades after a couple of years, but that's typically expected out of all laptops. Now, the one thing I would recommend as a student that you do is definitely get insurance on the laptop. Now, as a student, if you drop it, spill some coffee on it, your friend spills some coffee on it, you need some sort of insurance so that you're not ending up paying hundreds and thousands of dollars to replace parts. Now, there are student discounts going on websites like Dell, Lenovo, Apple, where you can save $100 to $300 easily on these laptops. The only thing you have to do is either go into their education account, where they may ask you to sign up with your student ID, which is the college official ID that you guys have, and that's pretty much about it. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the iPad. Now, ever since I was in college, I used to take handwritten notes, and I feel like that's the biggest thing that I regret, because I still need to refer to those notes, and I have them like in big boxes that I carry around with me all the time. Precisely, like, get rid of all of that stuff. Virtual note taking has become so advanced, and you can carry it anywhere you go. You can transfer it to devices, and just taking notes on your iPad is such an easy and accessible thing. You don't have to worry about buying notebooks and carrying all those notes and textbooks around with you everywhere you go. So you have apps like GoodNotes, where you can, use it with your iPad to take notes in class. You can have flashcards. You can also use these notes to study for tests. Now, in addition to this, you can also have like ebooks available. So basically, you're carrying everything that you need to study and work on your assignments through this iPad. So as a student, you'll definitely need a good pair of earbuds, because let's face it, you'll be waiting in some pretty long lines waiting for the bus, or you just might need it to listen to some, lo-fi music while studying. I'm not really that type of a person, but if you are, getting a good pair of earbuds is definitely a must. Now, the ones that I found that were under $100 for students are these JBL earbuds, but I personally am an Apple person because the rest of my devices are Apple, so I use the Apple AirPods. Now, these work perfectly well with like noise cancellation as well as their transparency modes, and I've been using it for like over a year now, no issues. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and this isn't technically a tech, but I feel like it's a very important student essential, is getting yourself a perfume. Now, as a student, you don't want to be stinking around, going to places, or if you're at home trying to like cook meals, you obviously want to not smell like curry when you go out. So that's why you guys need to have your dossier perfume with you everywhere that you go. Like, literally, these come in like student friendly sizes. They're super easy to carry around. They have like a magnetic snap-on cover so you don't lose the cap, and they have a variety of luxury fragrances to choose from. Using my code CrazyMedusa10, you guys can get 10% off on these luxury perfumes that are already at cheap prices for cheaper prices. So with your home setup, you'll need some accessories to go along with your desk setup as well as your laptop. Now, the biggest thing that you'll need is a mouse and keyboard. Now, when it comes to mice, mouse का plural क्या होता है? Mice. So when it comes to some options for your mouse, the ones that I would recommend are the Logitech MX keys. Now, these have a variety of options to choose from, but the two that are super easy to use is the ergonomic one that looks something like this. It kind of has like a weird shape, but it has a ton of like cool functions on the side to like kind of customize your click so that you can like scroll sideways and you can scroll vertically. Now, a smaller like option to this is the MX Anywhere, which looks something like this. Basically has the same function and same feel to it, but it's a little smaller in size. So if you're looking for like one mouse that you can use at home but also like carry with you in your backpack, this is something that I would recommend highly. If you're an Apple person, you can also consider getting yourself an Apple mouse, which is pretty much like just a block. There's nothing to it, just a right click, left click. I personally don't really like this. It's a little too flat for me, and it almost feels like I have my hand flat on like the table, so not the best ergonomic support, but also one to consider. So when it comes to the keyboard, Logitech would be like the best option to go with, just because I feel like they have some durable products, and as a student, that's the biggest thing that you need. Now, the two options that you guys can choose from is like a mechanical versus a non-mechanical keyboard. The mechanical keyboard basically sounds like this. The ones that you hear like with the big clicky noise. And this is like a newer one that Logitech released in their MX series. So this is a pretty nice one to consider if you like the clicky noise. But if you're more of like a silent person, you can also go with their MX series, which is almost the same design but has a low profile, so you don't hear that noise as much. So if you're more of a quiet person, that might be the better option. A pro tip that I want to give you guys is there's a website called UniDays where you can actually set up your account using your college email address, and you can get discounts on so many things, including Logitech, as soon as you set that up. So definitely make an account there as soon as you come in as a student, because you can save like 10 to 20% off easily on anything that you buy. Now, two laptop accessories I would recommend you guys have just out of good practice would be one, an external hard disk, and the second one would be some sort of like a docking station to make sure that you're not like jumbling in a ton of wires when you're trying to connect your laptop to your desk setup. Now, when it comes to getting the hard disk, Samsung is a pretty good option to go with. I've been using it for years, and just being able to back up your data from your laptop and have it stored in an external location is safe practice. Just in case something gets lost and you need to recover it, it's there and you don't have to worry about that data. Now, just like your laptop, I feel like having a good durable phone is a must as a student, and buying them from the US makes sense because you can buy it for $0 down payment, and the installment option just gets you at like $20 to $30 a month plan for the phone, and that's not a bad option at all. You guys have the options to choose from, like the cheaper model like the SE or the 12 or the 13 Pro like the one that I'm using, but it's just a variety of budget options. Now, when it comes to like these phones, since they're so expensive, having a good phone cover is a must as well. So the Nomad phone covers would be something that I highly recommend because they have like this aesthetic leather finish to them in like black or brown, and it kind of like protects your phone in all four directions. So in case you drop it, which I have so many times, your phone is protected with that case. So as a student, now when it comes to phone plans, this is where things get a little tricky. There are these family plans that everyone gets super excited about, and I personally don't like them because as a student, I feel like you don't want to be dependent on someone else. What if someone else just decides to drop out of that plan? Then you're stuck paying like $50 or $60 a month for your phone bill. And that's a risk that I feel like it's not worth taking. So some affordable phone plans that you guys can look at should be like the AT&T prepaid option that comes for like $25 or $30 a month. It gets you like unlimited, almost everything, with the cap of like internet of like 5 or 8 GB per month, which is more than enough in my opinion, because you'll have Wi-Fi in most places on your college campus and you'll have Wi-Fi at home. Now, the other option that you guys can consider is this phone plan called Twigbee. I know it's not heard of too much, but basically it's a very student-friendly plan and you guys can choose like the best option for you. I used it as a student and it was definitely affordable for me. It doesn't have the best range and I did notice like some dropouts in signal here and there. So that's just one downside to it. But these are some options that you guys can consider. Now, with your phone, you guys obviously need some really good chargers, and personally, I do prefer the wireless charging options. The one that I'm personally using right now is the one that Nomad has, and it basically looks something like this. It has the MagSafe to charge your phone right over here, and on the side you have your Apple Watch charger, so it kind of like knocks out both of those things at once, and I don't have to like use the same wire or wait for one to charge while the other one is just kind of dying. The wireless option is good, but if you're looking for a cheaper option, because the wireless options can get pretty expensive at like over $100, I would recommend this Nomad brick as well as the cable option, which is like less than 50 bucks, and the 30-watt brick makes sure that your phone gets charged super quickly. Now, since we're talking about wires, the one other thing that I would recommend you guys get is like a surge protector, which is an extension cable to have in your home. You guys will, as a student, will probably have a ton of wires with your laptop chargers and your phone chargers, and not enough outlets. That's one thing I noticed in the US, that each room probably just has like 1 or 2 outlets. There aren't as many as you would like. So having one of these is a good option. You can pick these up from like a Target or a Walmart, and they're usually just $10 to $15. So not bad at all. The next accessory, and it's not technically a tech accessory, but I feel like it's usually missed out on, is a keychain. Now, having a good keychain is a must. Like, you guys don't want to have your keys just floating around in your bag. The one that I'm using right now is the Nomad keychain with the Orbit key that looks something like this. It has something like a leather finish, which is, you know, super aesthetic. It matches with your phone case, and overall it has like a pretty compact and a good feel. So that's something that I would recommend you guys get too. Now, as a student, if you kind of go out with your friends, or even if you're in your room alone listening to some lo-fi music, you definitely should have a pair of good Bluetooth speakers. Now, the one that I've been using and would highly recommend are these ones from Bose. They're the SoundLink Flex. So the Flex model is sort of like a portable one, which has like this easy to carry tag, and it is built to be used indoors as well as outdoors. So these would be a good pair of Bluetooth speakers to have. Now, an optional tech accessory that you guys can have would be an Apple Watch. Now, honestly, this just is a preference depending on, you know, if you want to go with like the whole Apple product array. But the only thing that I found it useful for is maybe to, you know, track your steps, and occasionally, instead instead of looking at your phone, you can kind of look at your watch for messages, notifications. So it's definitely optional because it is like $200 to $500 depending on which model you get. Alright guys, so that's all that I had for this video. I know that you guys have been waiting for episode number 3 for Road to Success, which is going to be about Harvard University, and I'm working on that video. It's going to drop next Sunday, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications on so you guys know as soon as I upload a video. Tell me which product you guys liked best, or if I missed out on anything and you feel like those are, absolutely necessary tech accessories that students should have, drop those in the comments below. Like the video if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
I see no reason why I should ever let you go.